All right, so today is, what is it? February 4th, 2025. I'm going to be reviewing my options trades in this part one of today's trade review. And then we're going to move on to the futures trade review right after. So let's jump to before market open, which was here. And here's the TA. Look on the 15-minute. I'm going to ask you guys in chat real quick, so be responsive so I don't hold up the recording. Type in chat, what do you guys see on this pre-market analysis? You guys leaning bullish or bearish? Don't cheat. Obviously, we all know it went up today. But judging by just this pre-market analysis, do you guys have any major bias? Type in the stage chat. Yes, of course, we're recording it, Tia. Bullish? Why bullish? Bree. For me, personally, I didn't have a bias. I was completely neutral. That is true, Bree. So on the 15-minute, there's nothing, right? There's pretty much nothing. We do have some pivots. You know, I could chart them out. I have these ones charted up here. The only bias I had was bullish because we had a perfect double top on ES, but aside from that, nothing. And that's very minor bias. Like that's minor. So I came into this morning with no bias whatsoever. It's chopping, you know, gapped down really hard, and then it filled the gap all the way, and now it's kind of in the middle. I have no bias whatsoever, except this perfect double top here, which really doesn't mean too much. So this is what we started with. And yeah, that was pretty much the pre-market analysis. I'm just going to roll with it, going to react and see what I can do. And here was first candle in market open. ES swept lower lows here. NQ swept demand. NQ stronger than ES. So I said, I accidentally typed trace, but I meant to say on this candle, I said, if we retrace this drop, I am in calls. And obviously it would be KQQ calls because NQ is strong. Well, the drop continues and NQ continues to be strong. This is when I send the message. I said, if I retrace this drop, I am in calls. So pretty much the second this selling wick here invalidates, I'm in calls. Why? Well, we've confirmed a demand bounce. We've been making lower lows, chopping down. We would confirm a demand bounce. So we'd have demand confirmation and we invalidated most of the drop. So I filled within this candle. I filled roughly right here on calls. Oops, that is a short. Filled roughly right here on calls. Full size, hard stop loss. I didn't get the average I wanted. I wanted to fill all the way right here, but this candle is shooting up. I end up filling up here. And really, the NASDAQ PT was kind of the supply break, but really, I'm just looking for ES to get to supply, to trim, right? So I filled at 79 cents, and it was glorious. I end up trimming half, actually almost at the top of this candle because I trimmed half right when ES crossed this high, for 22-ish% gains. I got 97 cents. However, this is when I realized, especially after this candle, when NQ put in this green one, validating the selling wick, I realized that ES has this perfect double top. I didn't know this perfect double top was there because you can't really see it on the 15-minute well. This is when I realized it. So that's why I sent out the TA alert. I said ES perfect double top at 60, 31, 25. I'm leaning bullish for it to break, but ES is, seems like it's weak at the moment. NQ strong. Still had half my position. Looked really good. Expecting the supply to break. And it did break. And unfortunately, the calls did not move this morning much at all. Like, at all. NQ has now ran 180 ticks, so almost 50 points, and I'm only up 29%. From here to here, the calls only went 7% more. So anyways, that kind of sucked, but now I'm looking for NQ pre-market high. Looked really good, and yeah, I said I was in a runner position, but then I decided not to trim anything. So kept my half size. And it was very nice. Very nice profits. took heavy profits right here. And now I was actually only in a very tiny runner position. And I got 70% gains on this trade. Again, it seems a little low percent-wise, but it's fine. Contracts were at like 1.3, 1.4 for roughly 70%. And I'm bullish for ES to break this high. Now, obviously, ES is weak, but this right here is when I said on my channel, I'm bullish on dips right now. Only in a tiny runner position, but I'm re-entering if this current red invalidates, and I sent that at 740. So this next candle was the red candle, and this is when I said if this red candle invalidates, I'm in there like underwear, right? It did not invalidate. Boom, filled it. Now, I filled QQQ calls first. Now, I didn't really expect it to shoot up like this. So that was the first trade. First trade, 70% is what it got to. I think I averaged like 55% on it. It was really good. And I filled QQQ calls, and I also filled SPX calls, except I screwed up the QQQ alert. So I alerted SPX, and then I alerted QQQ just a couple seconds after. And this is pretty much a trade. I was half size in each. And I actually got decent averages. I mean, I didn't wait for the red candle to invalidate. I filled pretty much right as it confirmed the buying wick, and as it started shooting up, I'm like, that's enough for me. And keep in mind, I was a little more confident than I was possibly supposed to, because I entered with the mentality, okay, I'm going half size on each, which is 1x leverage, but honestly, for this, I'm willing to do 2x leverage on this specific trade. Looked really good. Unfortunately, it came back down, and you guys were able to get even a better fill than me if you waited. So it wasn't looking too hot. I nearly cut both of them. I think it was on this candle, maybe? I don't remember. What did I nearly cut it like on this candle here on ES. I think I filled somewhere up here. But anyways, I was half size in both. And the thing is, though, NQ was putting in a gorgeous bull pennant. So for me, if this selling wick invalidates, I'm averaging up. And I even said it in the channel. I don't alert average ups, though, because naturally human beings become more attached to their trades when they average up. So God forbid if it reverses against you, it's going to be very hard to cut. So I sometimes alert my average up. Most of the time, I just say I plan on averaging up if it does this. And if it does that, you can assume I averaged up, right? But I don't put it out there in... It's not like an alert. I don't want people averaging up with me. I want you to average up because you decide to, not because I do it. It's different to follow alert, but if you average up, you become attached to your trade, and if it turns around, you're not going to stop out. So I averaged up on this candle here. On QQQ calls, I was pretty heavy, not going to lie. And I even said at 749, I said, I'm heavy in QQQ calls, but I'm not adding to SPX because ES kind of looks like trash. So anyways, it got there, and it was beautiful. There's the ES break I wanted. I had another pivot on ES here. It was like a major 1 minute pivot, but on the bigger time frames, not so much. This is what I was looking for now, and I cut it pretty much there. I mean, that's pretty much where I sold everything. Now type in chat. That's another 44 tick. Sorry, a 44 points on NQ. And on ES, that was 9 points, which is a lot. Type in chat. What percent-wise do you guys think I got on these calls? By the way, this trade here got 70%. I'm not waiting for you guys. It was only 20% on QQQ. I got freaking scammed. So QQQ was 20%. SPX was 20%, which is crazy to me because SPX seemed like it ran so high. So only got 20% on SPX, but I got 36% on QQQ. As you guys know, it ended up running up a lot more than that, but I locked it in because I was heavier than usual on that trade and just these trades this morning in general. Very, very easy morning of analysis. Was done in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and that was it. So I was very happy with today's performance, even though the percent gains wasn't as much as I wanted it to. Um, it was a really good morning. I was very happy with it. And that's all the analysis that went behind today's trades. Does anyone have any questions regarding this morning's options trades? Very easy, very basic. Man, I wish futures trading was as easy as trading the open. I really wish it was. Because every morning it's like so easy. The losses, so easy to cut. Flip sides, make all the money back plus some. Futures is not that way. Futures was much more difficult today. Futures was good at the beginning and good for like 4 minutes at the end. The rest of it was trash, but it was still a green day. So you averaged up though. Swaggy, my average only increased. Oh, wait, hang on. Swaggy, the SPX was only 20%. I didn't average up on SPX. QQQ I averaged up, but that only moved my average from 63 to 66. SPX was only 20% after running that far, and I didn't average up. It was a freaking scam. Like, what the hell is this? Like, actually, I was actually so upset because I felt like I had to work so hard to get ES to go up, even though I don't cause it to go up. I worked so hard for that trade, and it only got 20%. So, was there news for the bearish reversal? I know, Missy. I'm assuming you said you meant bullish, but sorry. What was the news for the bullish reversal? Um, I know what is a bullish candle, but how do you know if the open of the candle is bullish early on? That's a good question. So I'm gonna disregard the first part of that question because I don't really fully understand it. But she asked, I'm assuming you're a woman. Um, she asked, how do you know if a candle's open is bullish rather than bearish? It usually just it has to do with the wicks, right? If a candle just puts in a selling wick and the open of the candle gaps above, so it opens above where the previous candle closed into that selling wick, that's a bullish candle open. And take everything I just said, the exact opposite of that is bearish. Does that make sense? Sorry to show my door. All right, sweet. Well, that is it for the options review. I'm going to cut the recording here, process it, upload it to YouTube, and we're going to do the futures review right now.